Well, morning, fellow zombies again. What you're hearing right now is I've got a few things online on the other computer that I'm going to be powering down a bit. It's going to be driving me nuts. Anyway, um, it's 8:33 in the morning. It's the 14th of July 2023. Yeah, Sister Weaver, John C. Roseming, California. In the armpit of the Antelope Valley, the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which would be me. Okay, so in order to deal with a certain furball problem, everyone else is in love with this furball. I'm gonna have to wash out my cup so I can get me some fresh coffee. But I gotta wait for the dishwasher to stop, so I may get me a fresh cup of coffee. Crystals all the time. It's the only way I can do it. And if I happen to send this one over to her, I'm just going to say it to Miss Emma from Emma Cruises. Well, I'm glad she's having a time of her life concerning about sailing and trips and stuff like that. That's nice. The only thing I can get close to her, a cruise ship, is by trinkets. No, a long time ago, I sailed only once with my brother, a long time ago. Memorial Wall. Yeah, a long time ago. But it was on a Monarch of the Seas back in 2002 or 2003, one of those two. I think it was 2002. In August. Ship sailed on July 31st. Arrived in Ensenada on August 1st. We stayed there for about a day in Ensenada. And took a sea day after that, and then got back to the port of Los Angeles. It's the only time. Royal Caribbean ship. Nice. They looked like ugly at first, but she had her charms. And unfortunately, she got sold off, and then she got turned into razor blades. It's the only time I ever got onto a cruise ship. And I guess this is going to be the only time in my life. I'd like to try it again. Even if it's going to be a cheapy carnival. I discovered that, and I was trying to challenge Emma on this one, but I don't think she'd relish the challenge. American river cruises are almost just as expensive as going on a 7 to 10 day trip with or without the tips to the Mexican Riviera. I understand they're still having problems with the Mexican Riviera. I'd like to take a trip up the coast of California if I need to. She's in the cruising, I don't think she's in the trains. Well, I would have to start from Union Station, catching the Amtrak, and then rolling it over to wherever. Of course, if I had the money for it in the first place. That's what happens when you have fixed income. Everyone else seems to have the credit and I don't, but you know. I watch these people have fun. I watch them sailing to different places, maybe just for one time, and then they have to make trips getting back to their own locations on airlines. I like ground trips better, even if they're about 2 or 3 days. At least it's a lot cheaper, and I can deal with that. Oh, I'm not even alive or awake yet this morning. And yet, I am here. We're going to be cooking again. That's the problem. We're always going to be cooking at this point. They're saying that the climate has really changed a great deal, so it's going to be affecting us more and more. And it's already affecting my bills. It's already affecting the energy bill left and right. Last month, and compared to this month, it's been about a $15, $20 increase. Only because of how many times I keep switching from computer to another computer, and sometimes had them both on or in the middle of the night, and even that's adding up. But the constant usage is the air conditioning trying to keep this place cool enough. That's why I kept the lights off during the daytime. All I can do is just use whatever natural lighting I have outside and try to limit the cooking because that also takes energy. But mostly it's the computers and the overhead fan. We're pulling triples this weekend. All this week, actually. Yeah, welcome to the Antelope Valley. Welcome to the armpit. Rosamond, California. People love seeing other people going on cruises because they wished and dreamed and drooled. So did I. Now that I know a little bit of the experience of having a deck underneath my feet feel, especially when it's a little bit stable, I'd still like to try, and this may sound daredevilish of me, but doing a transatlantic crossing in high seas when the waves are about to kill you. Then I'd probably be cursing myself for wanting that in the first place. It's like if a storm chaser goes out into the storm wanting to see a tornado and almost getting sucked up himself or struck by lightning. I really must be courting death or courting life, or both at the same time. But for right now, I'm going to be watching someone else talk about their own cruise ships and answering questions left and right. I suppose this particular person, this Emma, is indeed an influencer, because she has a lot of followers who love her stories and love her travel videos left and right and descriptions of what she's been through. And she's looking at it not as a travel agent but as a passenger. So I listened to some of these tips, and a 57-year-old can only dream about going back on a cruise ship again. Instead of going to an amusement park for about a couple of days and spend the money on a cruise ship, and there's tipping, the port fees, the taxes. God, I got to have about $10,000 in my bank account just for a 2 or 3 day trip. Not that I was planning on spending it all, but I don't have that money in the account. Are you kidding me? Shit. And if I actually had the money in the account, if I actually had an account, period, for that. And the other thing that holds me back on this one is I have a dog. I don't trust anybody to sit with the dog. And she don't trust anybody all that much. We're too inseparable. It's one thing for me going back to a college campus for a few hours. You have to get up there, get through the class or classes, and come right back. And she'll be okay after that because she realizes I'll be home and I'm safe. But if I'm gone long, that'll drive her nuts. And days on end, I don't want to do that to her. I don't want to come back to a dog that's already dead because of a heart attack or because it broke her heart. Said before, the Diary of the Griever named John Weaver. My channel is specific on some occasions, especially dealing with emotional, dealing with the psychological, dealing with the physical sometimes. We're dealing with grieving, mourning, heartaches, longing, anything and everything that people usually don't talk about, except when they put it in books just to get money out of people. I'm not doing it for that. I haven't asked for any corporate sponsorships, nor am I asking for it or wanting it. What I need is just to understand some things. Talk about them. Talk about how is it like to deal with loss and grieving, and how does it change your personality, how does it change your lifestyle left and right, and how does it make a person more more closer to those around him, if they're willing enough to be around him, it's usually pets. Because they're also family members and they're also dependent upon you. So when we become interdependent upon each other left and right, I depend on my dog for emotional support. She depends upon me for everything else, including emotional support. And she's also she's also having issues. Having a pet is not just having a pet, it's having a family member. You have to treat them with a hell of a lot of love and a lot of respect. But they're also like kids, and you also have to treat them with patience, love, and tolerance, and a little discipline. For some people, it's usually beating the living crap out of the dogs, and I don't do that. I'll yell at mine at times when she's not obeying. I'm outside and I got a leash on her. She's starting to run around, and you gotta understand, my dog is almost 19, 20 years old. She's got the gray hairs to prove it. But she still shows like she's still got energy left, and she's still a kid, even though she's becoming more and more blind. She had been with my mama before she passed away, and with my brother a lot closer before he passed away. And now she's clinging to me on a lot of occasions that I just don't want to leave her, period. So I don't travel as much because I worry about her more. I also have to worry about myself, but sometimes I don't. I worry about survival. I worry about if the money's coming in enough from disability enough to keep the roof over the head. If there's no government programs or anybody government idiots out there, elected or not elected, ready to screw me over one way or another. Get angry about that one. I worry about if there's enough money to pay off the bills, and then if there's going to be enough money for food, and if there's going to be any savings left over, to transfer it to next month, just in case, for any other hidden things happening. You know, I got the Hudson thing about a few months ago when I could afford them. You know, $20 donation to a NGO ship, just to help people out left and right. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. A constant reminder of some of the stuff I've got over here. Yeah, a bit. But this is life. So in about 13 approximate minutes, she'll be online, and I'll be stopping talking at this point over here. Actually, I'm just going to hold it up right now. If I can get this damn thing to work right. Terrific. More stuff to talk and bore people left and down. If I wanted to cruise, I need to have almost $180. Passport, card, picture, processing fees, paperwork. No, I estimate about $200 actually. I need to save up for that if I want a passport, which means I would have money to travel, right? No, not necessarily. Just having a secondary ID, just in case. Nothing wrong with having a U.S. passport, even if I'm not going anywhere. But if I'm going overseas, then I'd better have the right passport for it in the first place, and that means I'd like to have 2 sets of it, just in case. And the State Department actually does allow, if it's in U.S. waters, or even with the Mexican border, just somewhere close to the states that allow the card. They issue the card, no problem. However, you're going abroad, save for Canada, South America, Europe, Asia, Australia, England. You need the book so they can. Oh my God! It kind of reminds me of the movie The Music Man. Robert Preston, Shirley Jones, Buddy Hackett. Oh. Marion the Librarian, done by Shirley Jones. And you hear the music in the background in this one, where Robert Preston's about to sing his song, Marion. Marion. Madam Librarian. And just singing this. It's like the old time library, checking in and checking out. I don't know. Watched a lot of old movies. Remember the old movies when I can. Newer movies? What the hell are you talking about? Okay, we're getting close to that point where it's about 10 more minutes. And we're going to see if we can put up a pot of coffee now.